everyone. I hope you can hear me. It is Monday. Happy Monday. It is Monday, March 24. Welcome to My Heart Mondays. Before I continue, I want to make sure y'all can hear me because I've had issues before where I'm talking forever and y'all can't hear me. And I don't want to do that today. So please let me know. I'm going to give y'all a minute to log on and then you can let me know if we're good to go before I start jabbing. But welcome everyone who's tuning in today, or if you're watching this on the replay, hello, welcome. Mind Heart Mondays. This is part 3 of our series, The Real State of Your Health. And today we are talking about the will. The will. Sure y'all can hear me, because I have a feeling last time when I had my headphones y'all can hear me. So I'm gonna try this without my headphones. The only thing is my AC is really loud. That's why I wanted those on, so y'all can hear me better. But I feel like last time it didn't work, so this is take 2. Hi, hope y'all are doing well. It's March 24th, 2025. And welcome to Mind Heart Mondays. Sorry. Hope y'all are doing well. Welcome. Can you hear me okay? Just if y'all can hop on the chat, somebody can just say, hi, I hear you, or no, I can't hear you. You are not making any sense. Hi, welcome Mel. Good to see you. Happy you're here. Happy happy Monday to everybody. Welcome y'all. So yeah, I started this live stream with my headphones and I had a feeling y'all couldn't hear me. So if I'm echoing what I said earlier, I apologize. Welcome to Mind Heart Mondays. This is part 3 in our 3-part series of the real state of your health. Today we're getting into your will. The will. Your will, which is the 3rd part of your soul realm, and it is the part where you make life decisions. Welcome. Hi. Good to see y'all. The will. Yes, this is how I'm going to get into this, because it is right here in this part of the soul realm that I choose. It's the chooser that I choose with my decisions the course of my life. No. It's good. I'm glad you're here. Happy to see you. I'm happy that y'all are here. And welcome everybody. Hope your week is starting out great wherever you are. My Monday's been crazy. This week has started off very, I don't know, just a lot of interference in my day, a lot of just, I don't know, discouraging moments for me today. But as I share all the time, these are designed to get us off course. course. Discouragements, distractions, deterrents. And today I will say that they all came at me all at once, and I had a moment where I was like, okay, too much, I need a break, I need to just take a moment, because I really was excited that this week was going to start out great, and it started out a little rocky, but that's okay, because what I forgot to remember in the moment is that it's just interference. And this reminds me of a video I shared back in 2021 called The Interference After Divine Alignment. However, sometimes when we're in it and we're, especially if you're having a rough day or a rough week or a rough season, maybe you're not feeling good, other factors can already bring you down. So that's an important thing to remember too. With that said, the will. So the will is your chooser, guys. I make decisions based on how I feel and how I think. And if I am not in a healthy place when I am making decisions, that is to say, I'm an emotional wreck or I'm mentally unstable, my choosing is going to be very, very poor. And most likely it will be impulsive, and I will not be happy with what I chose once I come out of that state that I'm in. So this is why it's important to have a sound mind and emotional stability, at least as your baseline. Okay? Which is why I teach what I teach, to help you get to at least a baseline so that you can actually recognize if you're in a state, or if you're just having a bad day, or you're having a bad week, or maybe you're just in a season where things are challenging, but you still have your, good head on your shoulders. You can still think things through and not make decisions rashly or impulsively, or out of those unhealthy spaces in your mind and your heart. Awesome. I'm glad you can relate. Yeah, so it's important to know this about yourself. But the will is it's free will too. God gave us free will so that we could choose the path that we want to live and go on. And hopefully the path that we choose is the one He's chosen for us, because that's the only safe space to live and exist, is the God-ordained path that He has for you. How do you discover this? Well, you have to spend time with Him. You have to learn Him, study His Word, pray, have your spirit anchored to His Spirit, so that you can have the wisdom and the knowledge that you need to make decisions, good decisions, that make up the course of your life, so that at the end of your life you are happy, because this was the path for me, and I'm glad that I chose what was destined for me. So I have free will. For some of us, I'll say, who are not very disciplined, this cannot be always a good thing, because if you have no self-control or discipline, chances are you're making decisions just based on whims, moods, um, you know, if you're not on your inner healing journey, then your unhealed mental spaces, your unhealed emotional space. So it's very important that if you are someone who needs a little more structure in your life or in your day or whatever it is for you, that you're very careful, because your decisions matter. They make up the course of your life, and they obviously affect those around you. They affect the people around you, especially those connected directly to you. And so this is very important. Oh, how's that? Why aren't you able to go? Yes, definitely, definitely. Well, I will say this, church is not a building. It is the spirit indwelt in others who hold the same spirit that make up the church. So church is the body of Christ. This is why, especially these days that are more digital, and you can log on to a live stream and go to church. You don't necessarily have to go physically somewhere. You can have a Bible study with your partner, and that's church. So it really is just understanding the spirituality and not so much the religiosity of it all, which for us, if you're in the States, that's some of that might have to be unlearned, because we've been taught a lot of, dare I say, propaganda when it comes to the legalism of being a Christian or a believer. So yeah, keep that in mind. Oh, okay, I see. Well, yeah, I mean, you have that space that you can do it without leaving. That's okay. So just for those of you that are new, or maybe you didn't see the first two, let's go over the soul realm. So the soul is mind, heart, and will. And if you haven't watched the other two videos, you will probably get this better by watching the first two. So mind, heart, will, and if you can imagine, it's like a circle. The mind is I like to say it's the central nervous system of the soul realm, because how you think is who you are. It makes up who you are, because it pours into your emotional realm, which is where you feel and how in your emotions, your feelings, and that pours into the decisions you make. So if you wrestle with mental weaknesses, whether they're spiritual, mental, as in mental illness or diagnoses of any kind, emotional or physical, if you have physical disability or something that impairs how you think, all of this is important to take into account when it comes to how I view things. However, I will encourage you, no matter where you are on that spectrum, my strength will come from my spirit. So if you are spiritually aligned to truth and love, who are the Lord and God Himself, then you have somewhere to draw from. You have a well to draw from when you're mentally impaired. or you're going through mental debacles or whatever. Because believe it or not, I mean, a lot of stuff that we go through, they are attacks from the enemy, to try and keep us stagnant, or worse, go backwards. Especially if you are trying to live the new life, you're trying to, if you're early in your walk with the Lord, you're trying to, have faith and trust Him. And the enemy's very crafty, and he'll come against you, to discourage you, to distract you. First of all, to distract you. It always starts with distractions. Because once I'm distracted, then I lost my focus. And if I stay there long enough, then I'll start going into discouragement and be deterred from the path that I was on. So, again, this is all interconnected. So this is why when I say, being the gatekeeper of your mind is so paramount, because I can't control, I can't control the information coming at me. I can control what I choose to receive, what I choose to give my attention to, what I choose to connect with. That I can control, because that's my free will. So again, if you're one of those that you have no discipline and you just, kind of just meandering through life and seeing how it goes and not really having any plans or structure, you're more susceptible to all of that, and you're more susceptible to deception, and certainly getting off course, or not even having a path that's straight and narrow for you, that's good for you. So yeah, absolutely, I agree with that 100%. So yeah, so how's your thinking and how's your feeling these days? That's where we need to go when we feel like I keep making these decisions and they're not, lining up for me or whatever it is. I have to go back into the deeper part of my soul to see where the disconnects are, because there are disconnects there. And then also, again, just like everything else, there's layers. So there's a spiritual warfare layer, which is constantly on go and on green. And I need to be cognizant of that so that I don't fall into the disillusion that there's no point to anything because everything's always going wrong for me. That's not true. A lot of times things go wrong for us because we're on the right path, and this is a deeper spiritual understanding of the spiritual warfare. A lot of times, because you're on the right path and you're about to go into a new level or elevation, it's that the enemy's trying to throw you off and make you think it's not working out. Stop trying so hard, stop praying, stop whatever it is, whatever. And a lot of times those voices that come at us, they're connected and tied into our unhealed self. So yeah, we must discern where these thoughts come from. Where are these voices coming from? And then it pours into our emotional realm. So again, if I'm feeling discouraged or I'm feeling like, what's the point? I need to discern, where is that coming from? Is it me? Is it the devil? Is God trying to show me something? Oh, yeah. That's okay. I mean, it's okay to go at your own pace, That's something that's important to honor about yourself, is where you're at. But yeah, especially these days, it's so easy to be distracted all the time by all kinds of things. And I think this is why, honestly, a lot of times when we have to have that balance, y'all, because you can't be constantly lazy and not putting in effort, not putting in work, and then expect results, because it doesn't work. But you also can't be overworking yourself to the point of exhaustion, and then you can't even function mentally, emotionally, or physically, or all of the above, because that's not going to work either. So there has to be a balance, and I think that balance comes with knowing yourself well, knowing those areas that you struggle with, and giving them extra attention. So if you are the lazy type, then you need to put some structure in your day. One of the things that's always worked for me, and mostly because I like organization. That's always been one of my, I guess, strengths, you could say, is having a calendar and having a planner. Even if I don't always complete everything on there, at least I have structure to what I'm doing, and that helps me stay focused on the things I need to get done. Or it helps also to have an outlook for the week to kind of motivate you, especially that's another area that some of us wrestle with, is motivation. Maybe you don't feel like doing stuff, but again, if you don't, then you won't see the fruit. So there's a balance. If you're the workaholic type, you need to be patient with the fruit and the harvest, and remember that it comes in its own timing, as long as you're doing what you can to bring it to fruition. That's what's important. And if you're the opposite, if you're, again, the undisciplined type, then you're going to need to put a little more effort to see some of that fruit coming in. So yeah, knowing that about yourself is vital. And also it helps you understand, some of your decisions that you make that are positive or negative, and how to adjust to them. But if I were to share with you, okay, so what's the golden standard to, having this all figured out? Number one is, again, know yourself well, know your strengths, know your weaknesses. Get on the inner healing journey, because honestly, that's the only way you're going to find peace in your inner soul. And you're going to find victory for those areas that are really... Okay, I'm back on. Sorry, y'all. There was a little pause in my live stream. And with my day today, again, it's like I could choose to get really, really peeved about it, or sad, but I just said, okay, cool, I'll just wait till it's done and I'll come back on. Again, choices. I choose. And okay, so what's the next layer? The next layer is what are your what are things that are important in your life? Okay, this is where I draw from when I make decisions. Okay, I must have a compass for my life. I must have a vision for my life. Without that, I don't have focus. I'm almost at the mercy of my moods or my crazy thought life and patterns. So if I am to, live my life to the fullest, I must know what's important to me, and build around that. Make decisions based on those things that matter to me. Because I'm not just here to do nothing and take up space. I have purpose, I have a calling, and I have an assignment. Family, absolutely. Yes. So, you make decisions based on that importance in your life, which is family. And for most of us, it is family. Or, number one. Good. Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for joining today. I hope you're doing well. So yes, when I have a clear understanding and belief system built around what is important to me, and it's set, then I begin to understand my choices affect this in my life, or these areas in my life. And it almost makes you, just by design, responsible. Because now you have like a focus, like, okay, I got to do this for my family. I got to do this because, you know, I'm hoping to have this accomplished in my life, or whatever it is for you. That's another layer, is having that foundation of why you do what you do, and understanding that your choices have an impact, not just on yourself, but on those around you. So let me break this down. I think this will help also. Just as our mental and emotional realm can be in different stages, so can our will. So I can be toxic, broken, or in recovery. And then, of course, progressively recovery into healing and wholeness, which is the hope and the goal. So a toxic will is essentially saying that my chooser my chooser has no concept of making good choices. Because when you're in toxicity, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, and what does that mean? What do I mean by toxicity? I mean that you are very unhealthy, probably even to the point you don't even recognize that you're unhealthy, because you're not even cognizant of self-awareness, self-actualization, self-mastery. You're just almost like you're a victim to your own carnal autopilot. It's the perfect way to describe this. So mental toxicity is, you know, I have a lot of issues, but I'm not even on the plane of trying to figure out that I have them, or why I have them. Emotionally, you know, you're just hyper aroused in your emotional realm, that, you know, you might have feelings of paranoia, like everyone's always out to get you, you know, or I don't know, the list could go on, honestly. But and physically, obviously, addictions of any kind. So, you know, if you're still in addiction, active addiction, well, if you're still in active addiction, it's all encompassing. There's a physical issue because of the addiction, and then there's an emotional issue because, you know, that contributes to the addiction, and then there's a mental issue that contributes to the whole cycle, vicious cycle. So, and that's to encourage you, if you have addictions right now, physically, the physical addiction it's its own struggle, but there's more that caused the addiction. So, I need to learn how to unlearn through going through the inner healing journey of what caused me to get to this point. And it really doesn't matter what it is. And by the way, addictions are all encompassing. They can be spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, or all of the above. So toxicity and toxic is, I'm not even on the plane of trying to figure out what's wrong with me. In fact, my will, most likely if I'm in this stage, my will is disconnected from the spirit. So I have no, what's the word? I have no access to get help spiritually. And I'm sort of left to my own devices, and I'm at the mercy of whatever my toxic state throws me into. it's in slavery, quite frankly. It's bondage of the worst kind. And it's the worst place you can be if you're there. So your next step to getting better is to come to the place of acknowledgement that I need help, which brings you to the next stage, which is broken. So before we get there, though, toxic decisions are obviously decisions that I make and I don't even care, actually. You might even be in apathy where you don't even care how your decisions affect other people because you have no concept of empathy or consideration, compassion. Those kind of things don't even exist in toxicity. But when I come to broken, I'm still a mess, but humility has captivated my attention, and I'm ready to acknowledge that I'm struggling and I need help. And this is where the inner healing journey begins. So broken decisions, you know, I'm struggling, but I'm trying to make the right decision. You know, I still have my days, I still have my default mode, but I know what it is now, and I can learn to not give in to temptation. I can learn to not surrender to the easy way. And most likely at this stage, you're already seeking help from your higher power or God, something in this, you know, higher than you to pull you out of it. But it's only until you reach for Him that you begin to really come out of this, and you can start making better decisions, which puts you into recovery. So my choosing in recovery is definitely more cognizant. I am very aware of what my issues are and my struggles, and I'm honoring them. And I'm also going toward restoration now because I acknowledge that I need help. So yeah, I hope this helps y'all, and you can choose the good life that God wants you to have, but you need Him to make that decision and to help you see it mentally, help you feel it emotionally, and help you get there physically, obviously, because it's a whole process. But I encourage you to watch the other 2 videos if you have not. And I'll be back next Monday for this live stream. I may be back tomorrow for Recovery Tuesdays. I'm just gonna have to see what my workload is for tomorrow. But yeah, feel free to watch any of my other videos. I have a lot of stuff on here, y'all. A lot of live streams recently, especially. If you're interested in one-to-one sessions with me, email me, shesrestored@gmail.com. SHESRESTORED@gmail.com. And I will happily set up something where we can sit and chat, and you can let me know some of the things you're struggling with, and I can help you get on this inner healing journey, which I pray and wish for all of you. Awesome. I'm so glad you subscribed. Good to have you. I'm glad you're here. That's right. Every action has a reaction. Definitely. Good to see you again, Donovan. I'm glad you're back. What else? Oh, I am doing my workshop. I was planning to do it tomorrow, quite frankly, but I've been having issues with my website, y'all. Speaking of those distractions. So I haven't been able to post it on my website. But if you're interested in doing my workshop, I am charging $17 because it's a bomb workshop. It's going to help you so much. And it's going to introduce you to my 3 to 5 step signature process to releasing pain in the soul realm. And kind of help you start your own inner healing journey. So, but I think I'm going to push it to next Tuesday because it's just not enough time to promote it and to get y'all ready. So yeah, be ready for that. It's Reflect, Release, Restore. I try and do this every season. So this will be spring workshop. So yeah, hope you guys can come, and please share it with everyone. I'm going to post it later. But I'll see you all next time.